Western Cape ANC takes safety MEC Dan Plato to court over leaked documents. Winnie, Madikizela-Mandela and Maharaj are among recipients honored with national orders. Hello and welcome to it. You're watching eNews Direct. I'm Madikizela-Mandela.
And I'm Sandile Gangose. Good evening.
To comment on any of our stories, you can of course find us on Twitter and Facebook. That's at eNews Direct.
And tonight our hashtags are national orders and Mall of Africa. We start with this. The African National Congress in the Western Cape is taking the Provincial Community Safety MEC Dan Plato to court. The ANC claims that Plato has violated the rights of General Jeremy Verrey of the SAPS by publicly disclosing the contents of a confidential affidavit. It's alleged Verrey worked with and received millions of rands from Czech fugitive Radovan Krejcir.
Affidavits have recently emerged implicating the commander of the Western Cape's police's anti-gang unit, Jeremy Verrey, in corrupt activities. Some of the allegations against the Cape's top police officer are that he worked with Czech fugitive Radovan Krejcir and accepting a sum of 2 million rand from him. The ANC in the Western Cape has accused Provincial Community Safety MEC Dan Plato of a smear campaign against Verrey.
It is also very irresponsible for Plato to repeat the contents of untested affidavits amounting to fabrication slander at press briefings, given that the process of national investigation has also not taken its logical course.
The party is now seeking legal action against the MEC.
We're going to seriously get a court interdict around the pronouncements or around MEC Plato.
Plato says the matter is now out of his hands.
We're going to leave the matter in the capable hands of the Hawks for investigation. I don't want to open the whole debate. I don't want to compromise the investigation.
While authorities engage in their own power struggle, those living in the Cape Flats continue to grapple with ongoing gang wars. Team Tongana, Cape Town.
South Africans and foreign nationals who've contributed to building a better South Africa have been recognized. The National Orders Awards took place at the Presidential Guest House in Pretoria today, and the recipients were honored by President Jacob Zuma.
South Africa's past and present has been characterized by social challenges and is taking the hands of many to help build the democracy we enjoy today. A day after commemorating Freedom Day, President Jacob Zuma stepped up to honor those who've contributed and continue to contribute to a better South Africa.
We have gathered to honor men and women from this country and abroad who have demonstrated exceptional service in humanity.
The National Orders Awards recognized men and women for excellence in their given fields, ranging from the arts to sciences and achievements in the international arena. Winnie Madikizela-Mandela received the Order of Luthuli in silver, an honor for her selfless contribution to the fight against apartheid. The struggle stalwart has not been well lately, but her granddaughter who received the award on her behalf says she's in good spirits.
She had been in hospital for quite a long time, about 11 weeks, and it's good to have her home, and it's good to, see that spark back in her. She's okay. She's a strong woman.
Retired presidential spokesperson Maharaj also received the same award for his contribution. A musical feast marked the event, and this was perhaps in honor of Dr. Thomas Chauke's recognition for his contribution to Xitsonga music.
I'm feeling so happy, to receive this kind of an award. I didn't know that one day I'll come across it.
32 people were honored here, and government says the awards are proof that with the help of its citizens, South Africa truly has a good story to tell. Zikhona Shona in Pretoria.
Pictures have surfaced on social media appearing to show DA supporters being transported on the back of a truck. They're causing a storm on Twitter, with people voicing concerns about both safety and ethics. The DA says it's investigating the matter, but is yet to determine the source of the photograph. The party says transporting people in this manner is unacceptable, adding that disciplinary charges will be brought against those responsible.
We have this morning extensively investigated this photo to find its source, and as of yet, we cannot find the source. We view transporting our activists in this way as completely unacceptable, and it has absolutely no place in the Democratic Alliance. Our activists are the heartbeat of our party, and as such, as soon as we find the source of this photo, we will be taking disciplinary action against the individuals responsible if we can locate where and if it happened.
Now, global news coverage of the 2012 Marikana massacre exposed the need for better working conditions and wages for miners. But in the 4 years since the tragedy, it appears very little has changed, and a series of talks across Europe aim to address this. Our correspondent, Natalie Powell, reports from Berlin.
A speakers tour is underway across Europe, drawing attention to the working and living conditions of miners in South Africa. Mine owner Lonmin, a British company, was found to be partly responsible for the Marikana massacre. But panelists here say these mining giants are still not doing enough for their workers.
I think Lonmin can do some more, because working into mining is very, very hard and difficult, and there are some sort of disease like TB. And the worker, when it comes from underground, he needs a proper place just to relax.
Well, this speakers tour is all about highlighting concerns over the working and living conditions of miners in South Africa, and it's hoped that the mining companies involved will take more corporate responsibility for their staff. Those involved in this event believe the push for accountability must also come from Europe.
We thought about what could be our contribution from the European side, and then we figured out that BASF is a major customer of Lonmin, and so we thought, okay, that's a thing where we can contribute to the struggle in South Africa from the European side.
BASF is a principal buyer of Lonmin's platinum, but has yet to release a comprehensive statement on the Marikana massacre and the strikes over pay and conditions that led to it.
BASF must know that we are suffering in South Africa. Although Lonmin is getting huge sums of money from BASF by selling platinum.
After the USA, Germany is the second largest importer of platinum, and 80% of the world's platinum is mined in South Africa. This event is hoping to encourage more political action from Germany to ensure employers take more responsibility for their miners. Natalie Powell, Berlin.
A quick look at world news now, and Russia has launched its inaugural rocket from the country's new spaceport. This was the second attempt to launch the unmanned Soyuz rocket in 24 hours following a technical fault. Now, the first attempt was called off less than 2 minutes before liftoff. President Vladimir Putin had flown in to witness the historic event. And dramatic footage filmed from a police motorbike in Chile shows a road chase as authorities capture 3 suspects believed to be responsible for a robbery in a shopping mall shortly before. The video, which has gone viral, shows police surrounding and shooting at a red car before pulling a suspect out of the vehicle and to the ground. One of the suspects had to be hospitalized with gunshot wounds. And we start with the South African Post Office, where workers are set to go on strike next week over a pay dispute. They claim they have not received a salary increase in the past 2 years. The Post Office says another strike will have devastating implications on the business. Now, the state-owned entity recorded losses of over 1 billion rand for the 2014-2015 financial year. In other issues making headlines on social media, it's the Defense Department's urgent tender to lease a presidential jet. Its acquisition division, Armscor, says the need has become more urgent after a series of mishaps involving the presidential plane. Now, some say the tender is a waste of time, while others are labeling it a gravy plane. Remember, we do love to hear from you. You can, of course, check us out on Twitter and Facebook. That's at eNews Direct. Or you can head on over to our website. That's enca.com/direct. To stay with us. After the break, we've got your business news as well as your detailed weather forecast. Money matters now when thousands of shoppers turned up at the brand new 5 billion rand Mall of Africa in Midrand today, mostly to cash in on the opening specials. Now, the grand opening caused major traffic jams in surrounding areas. The new shopping hub claims to be the country's largest mall ever built in a single phase.
After 3 years, 10 million bricks and 8,500 tons of steel later, the Mall of Africa finally opened its doors. Shoppers stood in queues for hours just to get into some stores for the many international brands that are on offer.
Thousands of shoppers pitched up for the opening today, but the developers were prepared for that. The Mall of Africa has over 300 shops. It's 130,000 square meters in size, and there's parking for 65,000 vehicles.
However, independent research has shown that there is too much retail space in urban areas. But developers say this doesn't affect the new mall and its location.
I do believe the big benefit of having a mall like this is the fact that it's located right in the center of Gauteng. It's on the N1 freeway. It's also right next to the Allendale interchange, which makes access ideal.
Many came to spend, while others just browsed.
We wanted to be part of this experience.
We just came to see that and to see what specials there are.
And right next to the mall is its landmark PwC Tower. At 26 stories high, it's visible from 30 kilometers away. Daniela van Heerden, Midrand.
And with that, let's see how the markets performed today. Let's check in with the weather center now. Here's Louis.
Good evening, everyone. Let's take a look at your Friday's weather conditions. And a strong cold front will be making landfall early in the day along the southwestern coastline. As it moves in, we're going to see cloudy and wet weather spreading into parts of the northern, western and eastern Cape. And by evening, that front will be passing into the southern parts of the Free State as well. Ahead of the front, it's going to be a partly cloudy to clear day. High temperatures over the far eastern parts of the country, with bergwinds pushing into the Lowveld and in KwaZulu-Natal. And there we see those high temperatures. Richards Bay at 35, while Ulundi gets to 36. Rain will start moving in along the southern coastline of the province by evening. Wet weather will spread across the eastern Cape during the course of the day. It will initially not be too cold, but as the day goes on, temperatures will be taking a dive as the front moves through. It'll be a cloudy and wet day for most of the Western Cape, especially wet at first over the mountainous areas just inland from Cape Town. We're going to see wet weather developing from Springbok through to Sutherland, temperatures dropping low across those areas, but ahead of the cold front, many places will still reach the mid to upper 20s. A mostly sunny and dry day for the Free State. The cold front not having too much of an effect in the province just yet. And it's also going to be a partly cloudy afternoon. Once again in the northwest, no rain expected for the province. Lots of sunshine in Limpopo. The bergwinds pushing the temperatures up in the Lowveld, Phalaborwa at 37. And those same conditions will allow for the temperature to approach 40 degrees for Skukuza. While on the Highveld of Mpumalanga, you can expect daytime highs in the upper 20s. A very lovely day for Gauteng. Lots of sunshine expected. Johannesburg, you can expect a maximum temperature of 28. A look further ahead to the start of the weekend, and it's going to be a cold and wet day in KwaZulu-Natal. We could see a few showers drifting onto the Highveld as well. While on Sunday, it's going to be clear and dry for many parts of the country. It's going to be very cold at first over the eastern and southern interior. That's all from the Weather Centre. Goodbye for now.
Thank you, Louis. After the break, an exhibition of artworks has opened in Johannesburg to celebrate 20 years of the Constitution. So exactly how much power does our Constitution possess?
That's one of the questions the Fine Line Art Exhibition wants South Africans to ask.
Well, 20 years after the Bill of Rights was unveiled, a series of artworks tell a story of the country's path to transformation.
That display is on showcase at the Constitutional Hill in Johannesburg.
This may look like a photograph, but it's actually a pencil drawing by artist Dean Simon. It forms part of the It's a Fine Line exhibition, which aims to celebrate 20 years of our Constitution. His drawings tell a story of the country's road to democracy.
His work has been commissioned by the Etchkovitz Family Foundation and is being showcased at Constitution Hill in Johannesburg.
There'd been so many elements of our history that had never been recorded visually. There's documentation and there's some recordings and some video material, but very, very few works of art that depict very, very key elements of our history.
The exhibition features struggle icons who played a vital role in transforming our country, such as George Bizos, Nelson Mandela, and Matthews Posa.
Pictures tell a story better than many words. And here we're sharing with our township folks, you know, who live under difficult conditions, who reflect about the pain of the past, the challenge of the past, but the vision of the future as well.
Has been under attack.
With the hashtag #IamConstitution, exhibitors hope to educate the youth on the significance of the Constitution and politics in the country. The artwork will be on display until Saturday. Linda Sitole, Constitution Hill.
Here's a reminder of the day's top stories before we say goodbye. The Western Cape ANC takes safety MEC Dan Plato to court over leaked documents. Winnie, Madikizela-Mandela and Maharaj are among recipients honored with national orders. And that's a wrap from the eNews Direct team.
It is still on the way, Rhythm City. We're back tomorrow.
Remember, we do love to hear from you. Do send us an email to enewsdirect@etv.co.za.
Well, of course, you can just talk to us on Twitter and Facebook, and our handle is @eNewsDirect.
Until tomorrow night, have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.